that you go through with microblading are a little different than any permanent makeup and a little different than tattooing in general. Do you have any tattoos?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good because you kind of understand some of it, but sometimes when people have tattoos, it makes even less sense, the healing process. With a tattoo sits 2 to 3 millimeters into the dermis, where microblading only sits 1.5 millimeter in the dermis. So it's much more shallow. Another main difference is that the pigment is smaller molecule. So because of these two main things, we're able to create beautiful hair strokes that are thin and look like hair, where we couldn't do that with a tattoo gun. But at the same time, you go through a little funny aftercare phase. So this is just kind of a more light-hearted way to look at it, with the emojis and stuff. Where it's not like to freak you out or anything. This is very over-exaggerated, but some people, we never know how each person's body going to react. You know, we can look and guess, but we never know. Definitely what happens to everybody is they do look a little bigger and a little darker the first couple days. That's a given. And you will go through a little bit of a flaky phase, never a scab phase, flaky phase. So more like fish food, or in the winter when you have dry skin, like that. But I always compare it to fish food. The only thing to remember during that phase is not to pick at the dry skin, because it could actually pull pigment out because it's so shallow. So this is the part that may or may not happen to you. This is the one that's kind of questionable, but this is the big one that freaks everybody out. So the disappearing brow phase. This will start happening around day 10. It could start happening at day 6. You know, these are all variable by a couple days too. So don't let that freak you out either. I always tell people, don't read into it too much, but be aware. You know what I mean? But I want you guys to be comfortable with your investment, and I want you to be comfortable. It is our face, and we're women, and I'm one of them, and I'm crazy about mine too. And I'm going through permanent changes, so you know, you just want to know what the heck is going on. As you get to this day 7 to 10 phase, though, all of a sudden you're going to wake up and you're going to look in the mirror and be like, where the hell did my eyebrows go? Like, I just paid money for a removal and to redo them, and they're not here. Like, this would be the part where usually people will call and say, the process didn't work, or I need my touch-up sooner than 6 weeks, or, you know, whatever. Not the case at all whatsoever. So what I like to do is just let you guys know what is going on. So if you look at that curtain right there, imagine the translucent curtain being your skin. And you see the brow behind it? Imagine that being your new tattoo. So what is going on at this phase is the pigment itself, because it's smaller molecules, it has to sink into the dermis first and then rise back up to be fully healed. Where traditional tattoo ink, it's bigger molecules, so it goes in, stays in, it doesn't change. Even when you pick it, it's still there, you know? So that's why people with traditional tattoos are like, well, that didn't happen with my tattoo, you know? But exactly what's going on, like scientifically in this phase, is the outside of your skin, the epidermis, is over-processing skin cells. The body's saying, I had something minimally invasive done, I need to heal. So it produces double the amount of skin cells. So you're already having layers of skin cells, double, and a little dry skin. So you have a good little layer that's kind of hiding your tattoo, and at the same time, your tattoo's sinking down. So they're essentially moving away from each other at this point. Now, as you get closer to day 15, 16, 17, up to, 4 weeks, they come back little at a time, and then they meet back up. So every day you're going to see a couple more strokes come back. No worries, be patient, make it fun. Ooh, look, 2 more strokes today, So that is normal, and that is what's going on, and that's what makes this a 2 to 3 year process, is because we're putting it in a different layer of the dermis. If we were to put it as deep as a traditional tattoo, you would never be able to change them in a couple of years, So at that point, they will come back little at a time. They should be 90% back. Areas that it's very frequent that they're lighter, which is why we have a perfection session, the bulb area, the tail area. Infamous for being lighter, they may be light but not gone. But the great part is on day 10, and I'm going to circle it for you, pencil is okay. So never to worry. If they do get light, you'll at least have a beautiful, nice brow that you can follow. You have like a template, which is a heck of a lot nicer than trying to, match your uneven ones or whatever people had before. So you can just follow that. with the pencil until you come back in for your touch-up.
Okay.
I like to call it a perfection session, not necessarily a touch-up. Touch-up sounds like something's wrong to me. So at that point, we will perfect them. So the 20% that may or may not have come back, or if you want to tweak them a little bit, hey, I've been wearing them for 6 weeks, and I thought, I want my tail a little longer. I want maybe a few more streaks up here, or maybe this, the little teeny tiny details aside from what I do, because at the end you do start to swell. So there's only so much else that pick at and kind of change, because I don't want to overcompensate. Something may look away because you're swelling. You know what I mean? So that's what the perfection session is for. So pencil okay at day 15. At 4 weeks, you're going to call me for your 6-week appointment, okay? I always just say at 4 weeks because, we're always booked out a little while. So call me at 4 so we can get you something that's convenient. It's only like an hour appointment, so, unless you decided you want major changes or something.
Like I said, I'm not working and probably won't be working, so
yeah, so it'll be super easy. Good. So that are the phases that you're going to go through. Now, the second half of it is how do you care for them during these phases, and this is super easy too. So I want you to think of the aftercare as in 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1, I want you to think of as the golden phase. And here, we give you this little pack of these wipes, and they have medicine on them. There's 4 pads in here. So I'm going to write right on here the first 48 hours. AM and PM. So AM and PM being that you're just going to take 1 pad. You're going to use 1 side for each brow, so you're only using 1 for each time that you need to use it. You don't need 1 pad for each brow, and they'll last you a little bit longer. Just fold the pack back up or close bobby pin and tape it, whatever, just so they stay moist for you. So you're going to do that, and that is the only moisture that's going to touch them for 48 hours. So no water at all whatsoever for 48 hours, no gym, heavy sweating, anything like that. Bird bath, whatever you gotta do, flip your head over the tub, just no water. You can wash around them, just don't get them wet. And then anytime you're done cleaning them, whether it be water or the next way I'm about to tell you about, you're gonna follow with, there's a little ointment in here, and that's just Aquaphor, which a lot of people have at home, but if it's open, it's not sterile. So we are just extra OCD here. There's a little micro swab inside of here. And if you look at the micro swab, see the size of that tip? That is the amount of Aquaphor that you need for your eyebrow. That's it. So a lot less than a traditional tattoo, where with the traditional you're slathering, but with this you just need a tiny bit. We just want you to keep them moist because we want to make sure that they're breathing so they don't scab. So you can do it the AM and PM when you rinse, and also maybe in the middle of the day or even twice in the day. Anytime they feel like tight to your face, that's when you want to do it. So I'm going to put first 48 hours AM and PM, and then I'm going to put an arrow, follow with AQ, and that was one for Aquaphor. An arrow, like as in, so I'll put 1 and then 2. Does that make sense? Then follow with AQ for Aquaphor? Okay. So it's not morning, so obviously you're going to start this tonight. So tonight being, you're going to go Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So Thursday night is when you're going to go into phase 2. And I'm going to write that right on your pads for you. Thursday PM. I'm going to put wash night, okay? Also, do your pets at home? Do they sleep in your bed by chance?
Yeah.
I know it's a mean question, and I'm sorry to say this. They can sleep by your feet, but change your pillowcase tonight. Okay.
He does.
Just make sure to change your pillowcase tonight, and try not to do too much face snuggling and kissing just for the first 48, because dander and saliva from pets will really inflame your brow. So that's a major one. So just make sure, new pillowcase, and say, sorry buddy, you gotta put snuggle tonight. So what I mean by wash night, that's going to be your phase 2, okay? So phase 1, I'm just going to put it up here quick. It's going to be the no water phase. Right. Phase 2. So Johnson's Baby Wash, the good old yellow that you've used on your kids probably, and we're
No, it wasn't invented.
yeah. You didn't use it then? Or when your kids were babies, they didn't have it?
Maybe the second. Well, she wasn't a baby when I got her. She was 6.5. So.
Oh my gosh.
She was like, get out of here. I'll do it myself."
Yeah, right. Well, that Johnson,
Okay,
you can find those little mini ones at any drugstore.
Right.
They always have them in the travel section in mini sizes. So you're just gonna make sure when you do wash Thursday night, I want you to wash until day 10. I want you to wash with the Johnson's Baby Wash only. You can use anything else for the rest of your face, but only wash them with the Johnson's, okay? So I'm gonna put that
So
for you.
you put it on with your finger.
What you're gonna do actually is you're gonna wash your hands first, and then you can actually take a little water, splash it on your brows, and then make a good lather, and then just lightly take the foam and very lightly kind of go on your brows. Like I always say, like no harder than changing a baby's spot, you know. And then you just rinse it with the water at that point, because on phase 2, at that point, if you're using soap and water, water is okay. So at that point, water is a-okay. So, and I'll put here too. This would be in this phase. So day 3, water is okay.
Wait, day 3 of phase 2?
Day 3, so it's only days 1 and 2 are phase 1. So in this square, I just put it in this square because this is 2 through 5. So day 3 would be in your second phase.
Okay, so day 3.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't have wrote it.
Thursday night
Yes.
is phase 2. Thursday night.
And a really good way to remember is when all of these are gone, it's time to wash.
Oh, okay.
Because there's only 4. So that'll get you to 48 hours exactly, okay? And then it says right on here, Thursday night, you're going to use your Johnson's. So, and then use the Johnson's until day 10. And put here until day 10. Now, I like to write these specifically for people while I go over them, but in case you do forget, there is this sheet, and then we do have a little Aftercare card. You can throw it right in your purse, and everything I told you is right on here. A few of my cards in here as well. By all means, if anybody asks you who fixed your brows or give you fabulous brows, you just let them know.
I certainly will.
And you actually get a $50 referral for anybody that you send.
Is there a place on the internet where you want to be reviewed?
Absolutely. I would love, I'll send you the link to Google reviews.
Okay.
That's where I usually send everybody, and I would absolutely love, adore, and appreciate a review. You know, especially with corrections, because it's a scary, traumatizing thing to go through. So anytime a correction can, you know, be open about their
When you have a
experience.
chance, you should read what I wrote about.